What is up, everybody? This is my Loki Season 1, Episode 1 Glorious Purpose review. And off the bat, I thought this episode was great. I just really loved it. This whole video is going to be my thoughts about it. And just me going over the episode. But, if you're new here, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, I think. Yeah. But, yeah, stick around if you want to see other Loki reviews or Bad Batch or, like, anything in the Arrowverse, man. But, yeah, this is my Loki review. I will stop rambling so that we can roll that intro and then review. So let's roll that. This episode opens in New York City, 2012, right? Basically what we saw in Avengers Endgame, but from different angles. It looks like during Endgame they shot a couple different takes. I don't think they paid Chris Evans to do like a whole different take just for one line or anything, but they probably all got paid for their appearances. But yeah, it's like Endgame where we see Loki transform into Captain America. There's a new angle where he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And Hulk can't take the stairs, so he's gonna go downstairs eventually and hit other Tony and make him lose the, yeah, but Ant-Man kicks the Tesseract box over to Tony so Tony can get over, but as he walks over, you saw the movie Endgame, man. If you're watching this, you probably saw Endgame. Hulk opens the door and it gets hit, and the Tesseract flies over by Loki, leaving Loki to grab the Tesseract and escape. And that's where we basically pick up with this episode. We have some establishing shots for this opening scene, but it's not really after. I'm sorry if that was weird. With this editing app, I have to keep my finger on the voiceover, and it slips sometimes. But Loki goes to Mongolia. I don't think he chose to go there. I think that the Tesseract took him there. But Loki lands like Iron Man. How Iron Man landed in Iron Man 1 when he got out of the cave. But he gets up and sees all these people watching natives to Mongolia, or the Mongolian desert, or whatever it is. I'm sorry, I just hit my microphone. Loki gets on a rock and does a big Loki speech, because, you know, Loki wants to make everybody feel little at this point, which, yeah. But then, Hunter B-15 comes in, and we'll just call her B-15 or Hunter B-15, I don't know. But, she comes in, and, her and Loki talk real quick, and you see that the red line on the sacred timeline, you can only go 5 up of, like, this timeline could crack really easily. Do you think, like, they could have interfered in WandaVision? We just didn't see it. But, anyway, Loki gets hit with the, this thing that made him in slow motion, and as he's in slow motion, B-15, Hunter B-15, put this thing around his neck, which later we learn it can, it's like a teleport thing that can take him back to where he was. Because things in the TVA work different, but speaking of TVA, we get to the TVA, where, Loki, is being brought in, and he gives the Tesseract, and this guy named Casey is like, Tesseract, this is stupid, or whatever. Sounds dumb. I don't know, I laughed during, that moment, but Loki is taken to a room, or it's just like a bunch of rooms set on top of each other where you fall, but there's this weird, creepy droid where, she tries to, like, get Loki's clothing off to, like, Loki's like, no, this is Asgardian leather. Why'd I do a Thor voice? No, I can't do Loki, man. I can't even do anything, but they eventually burn his clothing off, and Loki's like, what? Or whatever. You see, I can't. But he falls down and there's this giant stack of paper with the desk dude is like, please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said. And Loki goes, what? Puts another piece of paper down. This is absurd. Puts another. It's just a cycle. And I guess if there's that many pieces of paper on the wall, do they know everything that Loki's gonna say? And if they did, why did they have Morbius ask him about everything? Or is it just, I don't know, just to make the timeline where the timeline doesn't exist fulfill or whatever? But Loki eventually signed. Well, anyway, Loki signs the crap, and he is brought down to a place where not she, well, I guess he's gender neutral. Sorry, my finger slipped. So Loki has to prove that he's not a robot, and he has a mini crisis going. Like, how do people not know they're a robot? How do I know how do I know I'm not a robot? Well, I know I'm not a robot. And he eventually goes through, and it just scans your temporal energy. I think they said. I don't even know what that is. If it's some zodiac crap, I don't care. Good for you if you care about that crap. I do not. But Loki had the same reaction as me. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll find out. But right now, I do not plan to. But yeah, he goes to the TVA area where you gotta like wait. It's kind of like a long line. Like, I don't know. I was gonna say the DMV, but I haven't been there. But he watches this video by Miss Minutes saying, or Miss Minutes is Tara Strong, Raven, Bubbles, a bunch of people from your childhood and mine too. But she shows a video of the timekeepers, and there was the multiversal war, which Secret Wars could be hinting at. They say madness and multiverse pretty close in the same sentence, so it's kind of like multiverse madness. And I'm sorry, my table is really squeaky. I don't know why. Yeah, danger multiverse. So the timekeepers had to put it all together, and I'm not believing this bullcrap. Even at the end of the commercial, it says made by the timekeepers promotional group or whatever, and it shows like variants who go off the wrong path, like Loki and everyone they bring in. So, and it's not a harm to show them this, because if what we learn later in the episode, or they don't tell us, but we can infer, all the variants that come here are gonna die. So, yeah, like, just like this dude, he got incinerated and put back to his timeline, I think, but Loki can't do that. Or, no, he just got incinerated, he just got deaded. Yes, it just said deaded, and Loki freaks out, and he's like, hey, I got my ticket, and... But here we're in France 1549, after an attack has been made on some TVA agents, and they say the stab wounds are just like the other ones, and so Owen Wilson's character Mobius comes up and like shows her technology and like sees that her teeth are blue and asks what she did this, and when he asks what did this, she points to the stained glass painting of the devil. So no, this is not Mephisto. Even the writers confirmed it. It's some like Loki, the mischievous devil, and the devil brought gifts with like the blue candy or whatever that they take from the child. Man, Mobius, you're so mean, taking candy from children. Loki should have said that. That would be hilarious. But Loki goes on trial and tries to blame the Avengers for what went wrong because they were time traveling, which made him grab the stone, the Tesseract. So the judge is like, no, actually, that was supposed to happen. What you did was not supposed to happen. And Loki was like, what are you talking about? This is all a lie. I promise if you give me like a team, I will. And it doesn't work, so he tries to summon his knives, and it's funny. And yeah, Tom Hiddleston was really great in this episode, man. But Morbius goes up there and speaks up, and he's like, hey, this could really help us, or whatever. And the judge just lets Loki go with Morbius. So Morbius and Morbius. That's weird. But Loki and Morbius talk, and they see there's like a window talk through area where you can see the whole of the TVA. And with the music and everything, this was very beautiful, man. Just look at that. I paused it just to take a look at it, and it hurt my eyes after a certain time of looking at it to see where it ended, because it's endless. But then Loki, he's gonna burn this place to the ground, and so he says nightmare, and Morbius goes, no, that's a different division. But in the elevator, we see all the elevator knobs have different numbers, and there's X, which could be an X-Men, but Marvel don't pull another boner. And wow, Morbius and Loki talk in the elevator in this scene from the trailer. You don't like talk, but you lie, and you just lie. You talk, or whatever. And they just keep talking until they get to the room where it has the projector thing, where they continue speaking, and Morbius during the scene is drinking some Pepsi drink that went extinct in the 90s. I was around 90s, so yeah. Morbius says we're gonna watch some of your greatest hits, and it starts playing video, and we see some stuff, and Morbius is like, Loki, do you like hurting people? And everything, and he shows what Morbius says is his favorite Loki moment, where Loki became DB Cooper, who, if you didn't know, he said that he had a BOMB on the plane. I don't know if I can get Demon Dead for saying that, which I don't think he did, but he got away with like $200,000 and jumped, and nobody found him. All the police found was some dollar bills, which you can see right there. Are what's left behind after Heimdall and Thor get him. And Loki says, I don't know where that cut off, I'm sorry, but it reminds us that after the first Thor movie, Thor was actually he was a jerk before the first Thor movie, and the DB Cooper theme was a bet that Loki lost against Thor, and Loki is showing his future timeline after this, and he sees his mother's death, and Morbius tells him the events that lead up to that, where Loki told them that the room that his mother was in was where Thor was, and Loki doesn't believe him, but eventually Hunter B-15 comes in, and Hunter B-15 has to talk to Morbius, which she does, because there has been another attack by the Loki variant, who we learn at the end of the episode is the person who keeps killing the Time Variant Authority agents, and when Morbius comes back in, he's like, hey, can you pick this up tomorrow? Loki left, and before Morbius left, Loki also took the thing that would make you in a loop. But here we get Loki, and I'm sorry I couldn't screenshot it, it went by too fast, but Peggy Carter was brought into the TVA here. That's a cool cameo. I never thought I'd see Peggy Carter and Loki. Well, they didn't even pay that much attention to it, but Loki sees Casey, that's his name, and Loki follows Casey and says, hey, if you don't give me the Tesseract, I'm going to gut you like a fish. And Casey doesn't know what a fish is because he's been trapped behind his life the whole death. And Loki's just like, it's a horrible death. Now give me the Tesseract. And he's like, okay, man, chill. No, but after he gets Tesseract, Loki opens the drawers and sees that there's Infinity Stones everywhere in the drawer. And Casey's like, yeah, we get that a lot. Some of us use it as paperweights. I saw this thing on TikTok. It was like, Wanda breaking into the TVA, to get a Mind Stone. It was the video Charlie D'Amelio saying, let me in. It was hilarious. If you don't know what you're talking about, I sound like a complete idiot. But B-15 comes in and destroys the cart. But Loki gets back and he finishes his watching his future, which is a lovely future that Loki sees. He mourns his mother and eventually his father after he sees his father's death, and he also sees how Thor and him bonded by the end of Thor Ragnarok, and he sees that him and his brother eventually really love each other, and it comes to a close where Loki, after all this, sees the ship from Asgard being attacked, and he sees his death at the hands of Thanos, where Loki watches himself die, and it's a chilling scene, because after Loki's neck gets snapped, we see it off screen, but we hear the bones click, which it's just a chilling reminder of what was going to happen to this Loki if he came back, the good and the bad. And so Loki now realizes why he doesn't have a home to go home to. But then, Hunter B-15 comes in and he puts the thing around her neck so that she gets stuck in this timeline loop where Loki can just like control her and everything. It's like a really funny scene, man. But then Morbius comes in and Morbius is like, "Hey, buddy, do we have to do this?" And Loki just talks to Morbius and Morbius goes, "We need your help because the other." Sorry, I've fidgeted with a balloon. That must be really distracting for you guys. Sorry. Morbius is like, Morbius says that, I'll get to it, fine. That they need help, they need Loki's help because the variant that they're tracking is a variant of Loki, which big mic drop moment. What? Now we're in 1858, Oklahoma, and, they go back and they see like a futuristic shovel from the 3rd millennia, so I'm guessing that's like anywhere from the year 2000, 2033 or something. That would make the most sense. But they see there's someone off in the distance, and not 2033, 2333. But the person off in the distance drops a lantern, and they said that the ground was covered in oil, so when this dude starts the fire, the ground starts on fire and it kills all the TVA agents, or at least almost. One gets away, but this Loki variant, I was about to call her Lady Loki, but honestly, I don't know if it's Sophie DiMartino's character. I'm in doubt that it is, but it honestly could be. But the Loki variant pulls the TVA agent and kills him, or her, or whatever. But that is my Loki review. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun making this, even though my fingers slipped a little bit, and it probably didn't make sense. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you'd be so kind to go down in the description, follow all our socials, it would be really appreciated and help the channel out a lot if you would subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. We are at like 87 last time I checked. And give the video a like. And if you're already subscribed, why not turn notifications? I almost post daily. I don't think I post on Tuesdays or Sundays. But anyway, I'm rambling, and this is my Loki review. Goodbye, stay safe, and